friends, it's Nancy, and I am here to do a flip through of this journal. I should measure first. I believe we're looking at 9 inches by 4 3/8 ish. So let me show you. Okay. So here is the cover. I have added this piece of, it's like a ticking. I have stitched around. The inside cover is covered in this fabric to give it more stability and rigidity. This journal is full of antique ephemera. So let's get started. The theme is antique technology, so telephones, typewriters, cameras, things like that. So right off the bat, right on the cover, we have this genuine photo, and it's on this envelope from 1893. Inside, I've made this tag. This is using packaging from a stamp set, I think. And the little elements on here are actually from the Simple Stories Vintage Essentials collection, which is new for 2023. This flips open, and you can see that it was sent to the Office Specialty Manufacturing Company. This envelope is from 1910. And inside, I made this tag using advertisements from an 1885 magazine. And behind that is a postcard of this group shot. It's a genuine postcard. I just added a little bit of tape. I'm trying to think of the word. Faux. Faux vintage tape. This had a bend in it, and I thought, we got to use this. It's too cute. So it just slides back there. So already we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of ephemera, and we haven't even opened up the journal yet. By the way, there is a step-by-step craft along available, so you can recreate this journal or a journal like it, because I mean, obviously you're going to have different supplies, and maybe you want to do color instead of black and white and cream, ivory, brown. So inside, this is a picture from a book. I've just added a little bit of stencil texture paste there. And it's on a piece of ledger. Wonder if we have a date on it. 1877. So this tag, I have put on a vintage or an antique calling card. This is a land contract from 1920. So it folds out like that. Here's a receipt from, it looks like 1952, but I know it's not. So maybe it's 1932. I'm just reading it wrong. So we just tuck that receipt in there. Made this little collage here. This is a little tag I made using a picture from a book. And this is some kind of a time card. Oh, no. It was from White Rose, not White Rose, but a garage that, you know, a mechanic. Wow. So, yeah. And here I have a little piece of fabric. This is Tim Holtz fabric. And this vintage button is made of leather. This is also vintage. This is on a book page about photography. This is tea-dyed paper, bond paper. So I've just folded over a little scrap of paper. I think it was from I can't remember what year. Some tape, some postage stamps, and this is a stamped label. So I just made a little collage there for some interest. On this side, this is another envelope, part of an envelope, and it's dated 1890. This is just a little tag that I made using an element from the Simple Stories collection. And this is a postcard from 1913. This is a book page that I flipped up. This little ad came from an antique magazine, but this is this picture of the typewriter is from the Simple Stories collection. Got two pictures here. They're genuine. This one's from 1918, so he's clearly a World War I soldier. My fabric was slipping down. Okay, vintage button. I hummed and hawed about that button and then decided to go with it because I thought it looked like a telephone dial on like an old-fashioned telephone like that. This is an old, I'm trying to remember the year. Anyway, it's part of an old envelope. And again, it's on a piece of ledger from 1921. This is a piece of a encyclopedia that talks about typewriters. Typewriters and typhoid. Excuse me. This is a page from a reproduction catalog. Another one of those leather buttons up there. And this is a tag I made using an advertisement page from 1885, 1888. And it even has, it's burned, number one. Number two, it even has a quote from Mark Twain saying that this pen is an absolutely perfect reservoir pen, a pen compared with which all other pens are frank failures. So there you go. This is on a envelope that I cut open from 1942. This is some tea-dyed lined paper, and I just put a little piece of fabric and some buttons there. This is from an old magazine about architecture. And this is from a school yearbook from 1921, I think. And here's an advertisement for a 6-pound Corona personal writing machine. And here's a picture of some young ladies. This is a genuine photo. And this I have clipped with a vintage paper clip. This is from a book about business practices. So this came from a section about correspondence. And I believe it was 1884, something like that. Really old book. So I pulled out a full folio and then I put some strips of old ledger to reinforce that fold. Otherwise, it's really great paper. This is tea-dyed scrapbook paper. I've made this little pocket using a photo from a book about the history of photography. This page came from a vintage encyclopedia. It's blank on the back, and I've just folded it up into thirds. Tuck that in there. This page came from an old National Geographic from the 20s. Advertisement for cameras. This is almost identical, wouldn't you say? This came from an encyclopedia. This is scrapbook paper from the Simple Stories collection. I've added this piece of fabric to make a side tuck. This is a tag I made from 1880s magazine. This page came from a book about photography, and it's the center. It says here, the omnibus, circa 1900. Just added this little eyelet and some ribbon there to give it some interest. This is a photograph of the CPR Hotel in Banff and a letter dated 1910. And I've just got that wrapped around this piece of scrapbook paper. And again, another vintage paper clip. Here I made a little pocket using the back of an envelope from 1890. You can see it's stamped there. Move up a bit, Nancy. I made a tag using this illustration from an encyclopedia. My goodness, I'm struggling today. So that shows a transmitter and a receiver. This is a postcard. It's not dated, but it's one of a series of a collection of postcards called The Pleasures of Photography. 1908 is the copyright date. So they've got the camera set up there. That's that business correspondence page. And I've added the little piece of ticking and this gorgeous, gorgeous old button that I've been hoarding. On this tea-dyed piece of lined paper, I added this fabric ruffle, and there's a teeny tiny little candlestick telephone that I've attached with a bulb pin. And that came from a charm bracelet that I got at an auction a long time ago. This is an advertisement for typewriters. Came from a book. I need a sip. Just a little scrap from a ledger. And this is on the back of that envelope that I had split. 1876. So this is what this person did on Boxing Day in 1876. And I've just scrunched it and folded it over. This came from a book. I just colored it with some ink. Here's an invoice. Nope, it's a letter. So it's blank on the back. You can use it for journaling. Did I fold this wrong? Why aren't you laying flat? Oh, you're fine. Quit being so dramatic. Okay, little pocket. This is a stamp, and a rubber stamp. This advertisement is from a magazine. I love these sisters. They were on a postcard, which had been in a scrapbook, clearly. And this is another journaling card. I made this by I had a photo, but somebody had cut it, so I cropped it a little more and just made this long tag. I tried to look up this Zivney thing. I think it must have been a military academy or something, but I can't find any information because clearly he's a young cadet. I made this pocket out of some fabric, and inside is a little envelope. So this envelope was from a drugstore that did photo finishing. Inside, here's the little paper that it says list of photographs. On the back is an advertisement for Cleanso dental cream. So anything can go in this pocket. But I did a little collage here. So this came from another envelope for finishing photos. This frame was a piece of something I had. This little photograph here was cut from a book. And here we have a piece of dictionary. Book page, a little bit of fabric up here. This folds open. Here we have another picture, another group shot. Looks like might be a school or a church group. And on the back I have this piece of old wallpaper, and I made this tag. This is an old bus ticket, and I just pinned it there with a pin that I had from holding old documents together. So that's this journal. If you're interested in making a journal like this, check out my playlist. And if you are seeing this video, this journal is definitely been listed in my Etsy shop, and you can go over there and see if it's something you want to add to your collection. Anyway, that's it for me today. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.